Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org, and this is a video tutorial for the new Boston. Now, we've already established how to log a user in depending on database values such as Alex or Billy both here. Now, when we do log in, let's go ahead and log me in. You'll see that we have you're logged in, log out, that's absolutely fine. Now, the one thing that we're missing to round off our website once a user's logged in is we're not displaying specific information about the user that is logged in. You already know that the user's ID, which is unique to each user, is stored in a session here. So at the moment, this value here, this session, will be equal to 1 because I've logged in as Alex, so the ID has been set to 1. Now, inside core.inc.php, which remember we set up to be included in every file, we want to create a function to be able to grab any field from our database here, depending on the ID. So this is going to shorten the amount of code we do inside our actual files ourselves. So inside this core.inc.php, we're going to create a function which we can use however many times we want, and also it will save a lot of resources as well, so it won't slow down your server as much and won't perform as many queries. So where do we start? We need to outline the skeleton of our function. So I'm going to call this getField. Okay. So what arguments is this function going to take? So getField, the first important bit of information we need is the ID, the user's ID. The second we need is the field name, so I'm just going to call this field. Okay, so we need the user ID, the supplied user ID, and we need the field. In fact, looking at this, we don't actually need the user ID because it's already stored, isn't it? Okay, so we don't need the user ID, we just need the field name. This is going to grab the corresponding data from the field specified from this user's table. So the first thing we need to do is create a variable up here which is going to hold the value. In fact, no, we don't need to do that. I'm just making it longer for myself. So I'm going to write global $_session user ID. Now the reason I've done this is I have a tutorial on why you need to do this. In fact, no, I don't think we even need to do that, do we? Okay, so let's echo this out and we'll see if this works. So echo out basically the user's ID. So we'll come to index.php. You're logged in, so let's create a line break there, and down here we'll let's run the function getField. Okay, so let's go back to our page and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, yeah, so we echo 1. Now, this getField, we're aiming by the end of this tutorial to display the user's name. Okay, from after this logged in. So we're going to say you're logged in, Alex Garrett. But obviously not everyone is called Alex Garrett, so we need to use this getField function to make this work well. So the first thing we need to do is we need to perform a query. So the query equals select. Now we need to specify the field. So that's field, and that's encased in apostrophes, from users where, and this is the important part, ID equals, so let's just apostrophes by all these, where ID is equal to $_session, and that is user ID. Let's just concatenate this on so it looks a bit tidier. Okay, so select the field that we specify in here from users where the ID is equal to something. Okay, so this is get user field, we can call this, because it's only selecting from the table users. So get user field, and we specify a field in here. Then what we need to do is we need to execute the query. So query run is equal to MySQL query, and we need to encase this in an if statement to ensure that we only execute this block here if this query is successful. So we're basically saying in plain English, if this query is successful, then what we need to do is we need to grab this data. So we're going to return, and what we're going to return is MySQL result, and the result is from the query run, the row 0, because remember we're only returning one row because there's only ever going to be one ID, and the field we can pop again in here, so field. Let's just get rid of them single quotation marks, so field.